Hello and welcome to Breath Journey. I'm so grateful that you've taken a few quiet moments to stop, to listen, and to simply be here. In a world filled with noise, constant movement, and endless demands, both outside and inside, choosing to sit down, breathe, and just exist is one of the most precious acts of self-care you can offer yourself. We often believe that transformation requires something big, a breakthrough, a turning point, a dramatic change. But today, I'd like to invite you on a different kind of path, a softer one, the path of stillness, the path of simply sitting, breathing deeply, and coming home to yourself. Now gently straighten your back or lie comfortably. Rest your hands on your lap. Close your eyes if you wish. Take a slow, deep breath in and exhale gently. Each breath brings you closer to the present moment. Each time you arrive, you are already creating peace. Thank you for being here. Let's begin this journey, a journey of stillness, of transformation, and of coming home to yourself. Welcome, my dear friend. Thank you for being here in this very moment. Whether you're sitting in your living room, lying in bed, or taking a gentle walk through the park, I invite you to pause for a while. Let the sounds around you soften. Allow your thoughts to drift like clouds in the sky. Give yourself this simple gift, a moment to be fully present, not to do anything, not to fix anything, but simply to be here, breathing. Because even now in this quiet, ordinary moment, something extraordinary is already happening. You are breathing, you are alive, and you are here. As we grow older, time begins to move faster. The days blend into one another, and the years seem to pass more quickly than we can count. We have built families, homes, friendships, and entire lives. And yet at times when we sit quietly in the afternoon light, a small whisper rises within us. What now? What remains when I stop doing and simply exist? That whisper is not emptiness. It is a gentle invitation from the soul, a quiet call asking you to come home, not to a physical home made of wood and stone, but to the home within yourself, where peace has always been waiting for you to return. What I want to share with you today is very simple. It doesn't require strength, youth, or wealth. It doesn't ask you to go anywhere or become anyone new. All it asks is that you sit down and be still. That's all. Just sit still. It sounds so small, doesn't it? Almost too simple to be meaningful. But those of us who have lived long enough to see the world change again and again know that sometimes the simplest things hold the deepest truth. When you sit still, truly still, you begin to meet yourself again. At first, the mind resists. It tells you that there are things to do, people to call, responsibilities to take care of. It tells you that you're wasting time. But if you stay just a little longer, if you're patient with yourself, something begins to shift. You start to notice your breath. You feel the air entering your chest, the gentle rise and fall of your belly. You begin to hear the small sounds of life around you. The hum of the refrigerator, a bird outside the window, the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. And then something miraculous happens. The noise inside your mind begins to fade. The space between your thoughts widens. A quiet, warm stillness begins to fill you. And in that moment, you realize that beneath all the plans, memories, worries, and hopes, there has always been a place of peace. A still, steady space that has never left you. It's been there all along, waiting for you to notice it. Sitting still doesn't mean doing nothing. Sitting still is an act of courage. The courage to stop running, to stop reacting, to allow everything to be as it is. When you sit still, you release the need to control, and you let life flow naturally through you. You stop trying to become better or more worthy, and instead you return to the peaceful truth of who you already are. We spend so many years trying to improve ourselves, to be accepted, to prove our value. But what if just for one moment you believed that you were already enough, that there was nothing wrong with you, nothing missing? What if peace was not something to be earned, but something to be remembered? Now take a deep breath with me. Inhale slowly, feeling your chest open like the wings of a bird. Exhale softly, releasing everything you no longer need to carry. That's it. No effort, no striving, just breathing, just being here. This is the simplest practice of all, and yet it opens the door to a peace far greater than we imagine. Many people think meditation means turning away from the world, but it's not about escaping life. It's about living it more fully. When you sit still, you're not retreating, you're returning. You're coming home to the very essence of life itself. You start to see things as they truly are. The way sunlight touches the wall, the sound of wind through the trees, the feeling of air on your skin, the warmth of breath moving through your body. Each of these small moments, so easily overlooked, becomes sacred when you're truly present. And soon you begin to see that peace was never somewhere else. It's not in the next achievement, not in the next decade, not in some perfect version of yourself. Peace is here, right now, whispering softly through every breath you take. As we begin this journey together, I invite you to open your heart to a new understanding. Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is fullness. It is not the end of anything. It is the beginning of everything. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to understand it. You only need to be willing to sit, to breathe, and to listen. Because in the quiet rhythm of your breath, the miracle begins. A miracle that doesn't shout or sparkle, but one that gently transforms you from within. It is the miracle of simply being alive, and finally of coming home to yourself. When we begin to sit still, something remarkable happens. The world around us may quiet down, but inside another world begins to awaken. This is the inner journey, a journey that doesn't take us across continents, but into the vast terrain of our own mind and heart. At first, this inner landscape can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. When you sit quietly long enough, things you thought were gone begin to rise again. Old memories, long-buried emotions, unfinished stories. Perhaps a regret you thought you had made peace with. A sorrow you never gave yourself permission to feel. Or maybe a sense of restlessness, as if your own thoughts are too loud to bear. Most of us have spent our whole lives moving away from these feelings. We keep ourselves busy, we fill our schedules, we distract ourselves with screens, conversations, and plans. We tell ourselves that if we keep moving, the pain will fade. But pain doesn't disappear when we run from it. It only hides, waiting for a quiet moment to be seen again. And when that moment comes, when you finally stop and sit, everything that has been waiting begins to emerge. This is not a mistake. It is a sign that you are finally creating enough stillness for your inner self to speak. You might feel sadness, or loneliness, or fear. You might notice tension in your chest, a heaviness in your stomach, or tears welling up for no clear reason. But remember, these sensations are not enemies. They are messengers. They come to be acknowledged, to be witnessed, to be released. The mind will want to label them good, bad, too much, not enough. It will try to make sense of them or to push them away. But what if you simply watch them, as you would watch clouds passing across the sky? You don't need to analyze the clouds. You don't need to chase them away. You simply observe them come and go, knowing that behind them, the sky is always vast and clear. That vast sky, that's your awareness. It's the part of you that never changes, no matter what thoughts or emotions pass through. When you sit still, you begin to recognize yourself not as the storm, but as the sky that holds it. One of my students once said, "I used to think meditation meant controlling my mind, but now I see it's about befriending it." That is the heart of this practice. Sitting in stillness is not about achieving calm or stopping thoughts. It's about learning to be with whatever arises, without judgment, without fear. When you allow yourself to feel fully, healing begins. The body has its own intelligence. Every tear that falls, every sigh that escapes your chest is a release, a letting go of the weight you've carried for too long. The mind learns through experience that it's safe to relax. The heart learns that it can trust again. Science calls this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Every time you sit with awareness instead of avoidance, your nervous system learns a new pattern. It learns calm instead of tension, openness instead of defense. Bit by bit, you reshape your inner world simply by being present. But healing isn't always beautiful. Sometimes it's raw, messy, even painful. There will be days when sitting still feels impossible, when every minute brings discomfort. On those days, remember, this too is part of the process. You are learning to hold yourself with compassion, the same way a loving parent holds a crying child. You don't tell the child to stop crying. You hold them until the tears end on their own. In the same way, you can hold your own inner child, the parts of you that feel scared, ashamed, or forgotten. You don't need to fix them. You only need to sit beside them, breathe with them, and let them know, you are safe now. I'm here. This is what it means to meet yourself within. It is the tender work of coming home, not to a version of you that is flawless, but to the truth of who you already are. Beneath every layer of thought and emotion, there is a quiet strength that has carried you through everything life has given you. When you touch that stillness, you remember, you have never been broken. You were always whole. Let's try this together for a moment. Sit comfortably, take a deep breath in. Feel your body lift as air fills your lungs. Exhale slowly and let your shoulders drop. Now bring your attention to your heart. Notice what's there. Maybe warmth, maybe tightness, maybe nothing at all. Whatever it is, just allow it. Whisper quietly to yourself, it's okay. You can be here. The practice of sitting still is the practice of allowing life to be exactly as it is, without the constant urge to fix or improve. In that allowing, something extraordinary unfolds. The emotions that once overwhelmed you begin to soften. The memories that once hurt begin to lose their sharpness. And the space around your pain, the vast, silent space of awareness, begins to expand. You might not notice the change right away, but over time, you'll find that you speak a little more gently. You listen a little more deeply. You react a little less. You start to realize that peace was never something to be reached. It's something that grows naturally when you stop running from yourself. Stillness, then, is not a pause from life. It is life itself, lived with open eyes and an open heart. It is the space where understanding blossoms, where forgiveness takes root, and where love, not the kind we chase, but the kind we are, begins to shine quietly from within. So as you continue this journey, remember, everything you meet inside yourself, every fear, every memory, every ache, is a doorway, not a wall. Walk through it with tenderness, sit beside it with patience, and let the simple rhythm of your breath remind you that no matter how deep you go, you are never alone. Because in the silence within you, there is a light that never fades, a love that has been waiting patiently for you to come home. After learning to sit still and meet yourself within, the next step is learning how to breathe again with life itself. The breath is the bridge between body and mind, between consciousness and the subconscious, between the fragile human and the vast, timeless self within. It has been with us from the very first moment we arrived in this world, and it will be with us until the very last. And yet, strangely enough, most of the time we forget that we're even breathing. When we lose awareness of our breath, we're swept into waves of tension, worry, and fear. But the moment we return to it, when we breathe mindfully, the entire nervous system begins to change. The body sends a message of safety to the brain, the heart slows down, and the restless thoughts begin to soften. With just one conscious breath, we can step out of chaos and return home to the present moment. The breath is a gentle teacher. It never judges, never rushes, never demands. It simply reminds us softly, you are here, you are alive. And that is enough. If you notice closely, every emotion carries its own rhythm of breath. When we're anxious or afraid, our breathing becomes short and shallow. When we're sad, it feels heavy. And when we're peaceful, the breath flows long and light, like a quiet stream. By returning to our breath, we tell our body, it's okay now, you are safe. Let's practice together for a moment. Sit upright, yet relaxed. Rest your hands gently on your lap. Inhale slowly, feeling the air move through your nose, filling your chest. Pause briefly, then exhale gently, as if you're letting go of something you no longer need. Inhale, receive life. Exhale, release the old. Imagine each breath as a soft wave washing over the sand, erasing the footprints of a long and tiring day. There's no need to control the rhythm. The breath already knows what to do. Your only task is to walk beside it, like a trusted friend. Sometimes you'll notice your breath becomes heavier or uneven. Don't worry. That simply means your body is learning to let go, learning to relax. The breath, like life, moves in cycles. Sometimes slow, sometimes quick, sometimes steady, sometimes rough. And that's perfectly okay. Let your breath teach you how to surrender to the flow, without resistance, without force. When you truly listen to your breath, you begin to listen to life itself. You start to realize that every breath is a gift. No two breaths are ever the same, just as no 2 days are ever alike. Each time you inhale, you are taking in the world. Light, air, the scent of trees, the sound of birds. Each time you exhale, you give something back. Your warmth, your energy, your love. This exchange happens quietly, yet it is the most profound connection you have with the universe. It reminds you that you are not separate, that you are never alone. The air you breathe today may once have passed through a forest, a river, or another living being. Every breath you take is a part of the grand rhythm of life itself. And here lies a beautiful truth. When you pay attention to your breathing, everything around you begins to come alive. The light on the wall feels warmer. The bird song becomes clearer. The scent of tea in your cup seems sweeter. The breath brings you back to the simple beauty of the present moment, something we spend a lifetime forgetting. One of my students, a woman in her 60s, once told me, "I spent my whole life searching for peace. It turns out it was hiding between two breaths." Her words carry a gentle wisdom. Peace was never far away. It was always here, in the breath you are taking right now, in this very instant of being alive. If you are holding pain, regret, or fear within you, let your breath embrace it. Don't push it away. When you breathe with your pain instead of against it, it softens, like ice melting in the warmth of your palm. The breath not only nourishes the body, it also heals the soul, with patience, with tenderness, and with quiet love. Each time you inhale, imagine drawing in calm, light, and love. Each time you exhale, imagine releasing what no longer serves you, anger, fear, or old memories. Do this not to reject your feelings, but to remind yourself that you deserve ease. You have the right to live softly. The breath also teaches us about impermanence, that nothing lasts forever, and that is what makes everything precious. Inhaling, we receive. Exhaling, we let go. That's the rhythm of life. Not holding on, not resisting, simply moving with the flow of each breath. Over time, as you practice this way, you begin to change. You react a little slower, you speak a little less, but your words carry more truth. You listen more deeply, not just to others, but to yourself. You no longer chase after peace because you realize you are peace itself. The breath is the bridge that reconnects you with all that is sacred. It is the whisper of life, the song that never ends. Every time you breathe mindfully, you return to what is most real in you. The part that knows how to love, how to be grateful, how to rest in the wonder of the present. So take a few minutes each day to simply sit and breathe. No goal, no ritual, no prayer needed. Just breathe with full awareness. For in every breath, life is renewed, and your heart is gently reborn. You don't need to search for any other miracle. The breath itself is the miracle. And when you live fully with it, you will see. You and life were never separate. You have always been one. There comes a moment in every inner journey when we realize that peace was never meant to stay only on the meditation cushion. The purpose of stillness is not to escape life, but to let life become still within us. The real miracle is not found in moments of silence alone, but in the way silence begins to move with us, into our mornings, our conversations, our work, and our relationships. When we truly learn to sit and breathe, we start to carry that same awareness into everything we do. We begin to walk a little slower. We speak a little softer. We listen not only to words, but to what lies between them, the pauses, the feelings, the space where understanding blooms. This is what it means to live in peace. Not a peace that depends on everything going right, but a peace that stays even when things go wrong. It is not fragile, it is steady, like the earth beneath your feet, quiet, humble, always there. Many people think peace means a life without conflict or pain. But peace is not the absence of pain. It is the presence of love, even in the midst of it. To live in peace means to welcome life as it is, to hold joy without clinging, to hold sorrow without fear, to recognize that both are part of the same great song. Imagine your days like waves on the ocean, some gentle, some fierce, some calm and still. You cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to ride them with grace. The breath becomes your anchor, the present moment your shore. When someone speaks to you harshly, you pause. You breathe before responding. When sadness visits, you don't run. You sit beside it, offering it the warmth of your presence. When joy arrives, you let it fill you, but you also know it will pass, and that's okay. This is what awareness gives us, the freedom to experience life fully, without being drowned by it. As you age, you may notice that time feels different. The rush to achieve, to prove, to be seen. It all begins to soften. What matters more now is the quiet connection with others, the comfort of shared presence, the small beauty of ordinary days. A cup of tea, a sunset, the sound of a loved one's laughter. These moments no longer feel small. They are the heart of life itself. Every breath you take reminds you, this moment will never come again. And yet, it's enough, it's complete. You no longer need to chase peace, because peace has become the way you walk through the world. Stillness, then, is no longer just a practice. It becomes your way of being. It shows in the way you greet a stranger with kindness, in the way you forgive those who once hurt you, in the way you let yourself rest without guilt. It is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming present. There will still be storms, days when you lose patience, when fear returns, when your mind runs faster than your breath. But now you know how to return, not by force, but by remembering. You take a deep breath, you feel the ground beneath your feet, and you whisper to yourself, I am here. And this is enough. Living in peace doesn't mean giving up on life. It means fully embracing it. It means laughing deeply when the moment is light and crying openly when the heart needs to. It means knowing that each emotion, each experience is part of a greater wholeness. Nothing needs to be pushed away. Nothing needs to be held forever. And so, the miracle of stillness becomes the rhythm of your everyday life. You cook with mindfulness. You walk with awareness. You listen to others not to reply, but to understand. Even the most ordinary acts become sacred. Washing your hands, folding your clothes, watering a plant. Because now you see that life itself is meditation. You no longer wait for special moments to feel grateful. Gratitude arises naturally like a gentle tide. You find yourself giving thanks for simple things, for the air you breathe, the body that carries you, the heart that still dares to love after all it's been through. And love, that quiet, unconditional love, becomes your natural state. Not the love that clings, but the love that allows. Not the love that demands, but the love that simply shines. It is a love that flows from the stillness within you, touching everyone you meet without needing to say a word. This is the fruit of your practice. The peace that once felt distant has become the ground you walk on. The awareness that once took effort has become effortless. You've stopped trying to be spiritual, and instead, you simply live, fully, gently, honestly. There's a saying from the East: before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. It means that life doesn't necessarily change, but the way you live it does. Every act, no matter how small, becomes an expression of awareness. Every breath, a prayer of gratitude. Every day, an opportunity to begin again. So as you continue walking this path, remember, the miracle was never in becoming someone new. The miracle was in realizing that you were always whole, always connected, always home. When you wake up tomorrow, before you reach for your phone or your thoughts, take a moment to breathe. Feel the air fill your lungs. Feel your heart beating. Let a soft smile touch your face. That's all you need to begin the day. One conscious breath, one moment of presence. And when the day ends, as you close your eyes, thank the breath that carried you through it. Thank your body for its quiet strength. Thank the life that continues to flow through you, moment by moment. Because peace is not a destination waiting somewhere in the future. It is this very moment, simple, silent, and alive. And the miracle, my friend, is that you are already living it. And now, as we come to the end of this series, take a moment to reflect. You've learned to sit still, to meet yourself with compassion, to heal through your breath, and to carry peace into your everyday life. Remember this: the miracle isn't found in a single moment of silence, but in the way you choose to live. Breath by breath, step by step, word by word, pause by pause. You don't need to wait until everything is perfect to feel peaceful. Peace is already here, in your breath, in your heart, in this very moment of presence. As you return to your daily life, carry this awareness with you. You are enough, you are present, and you have the right to live in calm and wholeness. Each time you remember your breath, you remember that you are alive. Each time you speak gently, listen deeply, or release the grip of worry, you are living the quiet miracle of stillness. Thank you for sharing this journey with Breath Journey. If these meditations have touched you, I invite you to share your reflections below and subscribe for future videos. May you always be peaceful, may you always be present, and may you always remember each breath is a step home.